Shannon Sharpe reportedly in talks with FanDuel TV. He'd be potentially joining Kay Adams, Michelle Beadle, and also Shams Charania there on FanDuel TV. What are your thoughts on this, Ashley? I think that'd be an interesting dynamic.
Well, no, he's not going to be on the show with them. No,
it's just FanDuel TV.
Yeah, okay, so Michelle Beadle and Kay Adams have their own shows on FanDuel TV. Right. I mean, I kind of anticipated this move. Like, I didn't see him going to an ESPN. There is a spot available at FanDuel now that Pat McAfee's at ESPN. Someone has to take that time slot. I mean, someone doesn't have to, but more than likely they would fill that. Shannon is a football guy. Football season's coming up. All the stars align in that capacity. I think it's cool. He won't have the constraints of being on network television. He'll be able to be a little bit looser. He'll be able to be more Shannon Sharpe, Uncle Shay Shay. I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I don't think FanDuel TV's actually on TV though. I think it's like a streaming thing. Right. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it is like deep in the channel somewhere. But I think it's cool. I think, FanDuel has a lot of money. All those, betting houses have a lot of money to spend. Right. And I think it's a good opportunity for him. He gets to be a little bit more authentic in the way that he comes across on, in his space without having, like I said, to feel like he has to be confined by what sometimes the rules of television are. So good for him.
You think it'll come down to just who's providing the biggest bag? You think, platforms like Caesars to come in, or who are some of them?
The only ones I can think of that have full blown media is probably DraftKings and right? FanDuel. I don't think Caesars. I think Point Bets right now. I think Point Bets right now, they were bought by Fanatics, but I don't think they have like a channel. Shout out to JP. He just sent me, you can download FanDuel TV Plus app for free on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and streaming on streaming devices with any FanDuel account. So you can watch it on TV. It's just not like a channel.
Yeah. Is FanDuel like the Zeus of sports networks?
The Zeus?
Of sports networks.
Like Zeus the God, or like Zeus TV
Network?
The
channel that Floyd Mayweather fought on the other day.
No.
It kind of feels like that. Like, this feels like a step back, right? Just going straight.
It feels like a step back to you?
In a sense, from where he's coming from. National TV every day.
I feel like you have to kind of look at the landscape and have to understand like the landscape, the direction that media is going.
Exactly.
It's not being on TV or linear, as they call it, is not the be all end all anymore. That's kind of the archaic way of doing things now. You have things like YouTube, you have things like streaming services, Amazon, FanDuel. I'm missing some other streaming things. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a step. I mean, in terms of exposure, if that's what you're referring to.
That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm not saying a step back, like in the sense that FanDuel, I was joking with the Zeus comment, but what I mean is that, like, see how we are on YouTube, but it's like still a sense of ownership. Like, I feel like that's what's missing, is like he's stepping again into someone else's network, but it's like, if you just came from FS1, the only way I would do that is for a big bag at ESPN.
No, I feel like he's gonna. I mean, I feel
or
like,
go create your own YouTube network.
I feel like I feel like FanDuel's young enough to where he'll be able to have a lot of ownership in the stuff that he's creating.
I agree.
Okay.
I don't feel like he's gonna go in there and just give up all creative licensing, and it's still. FanDuel TV is still such a new network. It's still such in its infancy stages. There are no rules. You're kind of making up the rules as you go. And I think that's beneficial for a personality like Shannon Sharpe, who, comes from a more confined environment of being on television. You can't say this, you can't do that. And being on FanDuel, he could probably curse if he wanted to. He could dress how he wants to. He can break out the Hennessy, the Black and Miles if he wants to. Like, he can be Uncle Shay Shay. So there's pros and cons with anything. But I think that the way of streaming is definitely the new era of the industry, for sure.
I guess I was reaching more for, like, I want him to have ownership.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you're
He's
gonna step
definitely-
into it, have ownership.
He
at
ain't no
least.
dummy. He's making sure that that contract gives him the ownership of all things Uncle Shay Shay. So good for him.
He might own FanDuel after a while. He's such a talent.
Right.
He's such a talent. I mean, like the leadership aspect. Like he could take that and just be like the flagship for that company.
Yeah, but we talk about new media all the time. That's always a conversation we have. I think if Shannon Sharpe makes the move to a platform like this, or something like a FanDuel TV and whatnot, it's just a step in the direction, step in the right direction rather for the new media, revolution, for the lack of way of putting it.